Hello, sculpture friends. Our next project is called Deconstructing Books. You will need to get a book that you are able to deconstruct, cut apart, rip apart, add to, take away. Make sure that the book is not very important to a family member. If you're unable to get a book that you can deconstruct, then please contact me and I will have one for you in the office with your name on it. All right, let's begin. So with this project, it is all about recycling material. So here, let's start with our learning targets. That you understand a variety of ways of applying media, techniques, and processes. You understand what a ready-made is from history, Marcel Duchamp. That you can describe different materials, technique, and process cause different responses. You can intentionally take advantage of the qualities and characteristics of art media, techniques, and processes to enhance communication of their experiences and ideas. You can describe how different expressive features and organizational principles cause different responses. And you can select and use the qualities of structures and functions of art to improve communication of their ideas. All right, so we're going into recycled art, deconstructing books. All right, what is recycled art? It is a popular form of art where artists use recycled materials to create true works of art. Created by artists worldwide, artists look at discarded or recycled materials in a new way to use them to complete their projects. The reason they do this is to help reuse materials, to find inexpensive alternatives to costly art supplies, to get the viewer to look at everyday objects in a new way. So, today you're going to watch a video about Marcel Duchamp and his famous urinal fountain, or urinal turned into a piece of art, and he titled it Fountain. Duchamp is the most famous for that type of sculpture he's called ready-mades. Ready-mades are ordinary, functional household objects that have either been joined to other objects or chosen to stand alone as a sculpture. If beauty and art is in the eye of the beholder, is this art? Why or why not? Here are two more examples of Duchamp's work. Super interesting. And an idea, is it plagiarism? Is it art? What is it? So if we go through art history and we think about different artists and movements that have used recycled materials before it was hip and cool to use recycled materials, Louise Nevelson is one of them. And we already looked at Louise Nevelson in our assemblages. But with this movement, she found a new way of taking found objects and creating the structures of her boxes with a singular color. And what I found out really interesting about her work recently is that she also was a jewelry designer of found objects as well. So the green movement. Artists have begun turning recycled art into a movement. It correlates with the green movement taking place in popular culture, finding ways to show concerns for the environment and encouraging others to reuse, reduce, and recycle. Our recycled art project is deconstructing books. So what we're going to be doing is turning a book into a sculpture created by altering pages using multiple techniques. The tools are very basic: scissors, glue, paper, punches, and creativity. You must be willing to experiment. So this is easy to do, but somewhat may feel scary and complex. But once you have a theme in mind, it's quite easy to do. Things to keep in mind is symmetry, balance, and positive and negative space. How to create your book. You're going to start from the very middle of the book, and you're going to alter pages from the center back. So basically, you open the book in the middle and you start that way. But that may not work for depending on what your design is. And can be viewed from straight on or from the side, from the binding. To begin, you want to open your book to the center and spread it open and take one of the pages and use a variety of techniques. And I just want to talk about these variety of techniques too. And everybody's going to be different. You might be cutting out pages and sculpting them. You could fold it. You could cut it. You could roll it. You could punch it. So many different ways to start to manipulate the pages. If you have one of these crimping tools, you could use that. We don't have one. You can cut out sections, you can roll it, you can emboss it, you can rip it, you can tape it. So many different ways. But you may not use a book that your parents treasure. It has to be one that they have gotten or going to get rid of, or you've gone to Goodwill and gotten a book, or gotten one from the library that they're getting rid of, discontinuing, or from me. But either way, you need to contact me, especially distant learners today, if you need a book. All right, here are some samples to inspire you. So here are some professional examples of different books. Pretty cool. This one's a little simplistic, but I love the idea. And wow, look at that bird sculpted out of pages. Pretty, like almost like a nest-like. So these next ones were done by STMA students. There's the front view and a top view. This one took the idea of a book even further. So it's kind of up to you how you want to process and think about your book project. Love the piano. Lots of different ways to think about how you want to do your book. Now, this one here, I took two different views. That you can see this at the display case in school. I just wanted to have it more angular so you could see that. Really some fun ideas. Now, I went to California a couple years ago to the Getty Art Museum, and there was a display about artists and their books. And I know these pictures are not the best because I didn't have a really good camera, but you can kind of see what other artists have done and made the words pop out. And what kind of the student work that we have from STMA, I think, is a little better. That's just my personal opinion. This one is a non-traditional book, kind of making it a little house. This one, every time you flip the page, the view changes. Love that one. Now, you do not, if we go back and we look here at this one, we can see that this is the base of the story that's being told, with the words and pages being ripped out to tell a story. What a great idea. Tomorrow you're going to be watching a video on an artist named Julia Strand from southern Minnesota. She teaches at Carleton College, and she kind of does something like this. And so there's lots of different ways to approach this. And so you'll really need to start thinking in whatever book you choose to see how it'll work for your ideas. All right, so the things that you'll need is a hardcover book, glue, scissors, ruler, hole punch, foam core, cardboard, mat board, some kind of board. It doesn't really matter. You may or may not need that. And what we need to do is we need to kind of come up with some ideas. If you do not have a book that you can use, please contact me today, especially my distant learners. We need to make sure that you get one. and it'll be in the office for you with your name on it. But you must contact me. You need to write down at least 10 ideas of a narrative of a story. Do some sketching. You're going to turn this in for points, and that's what's due today. Then you're going to take these ideas and show them to at least 3 other people, and it may be people at home or in class, and then get feedback from them and revise your ideas. And you're going to resubmit those ideas of your revision, and that'll be tomorrow. Then you're going to select your book, and I have books, but those of distant learners, I'm going to put one in the front office for you, and find one that works. And hopefully there's a variety of them, so hopefully it'll work. And then last, you're going to show your ideas. So for today, you need to at least have 10 ideas of a narrative or story idea and do some sketching, and you're going to turn this in for points. All right. Hopefully you understand what the goal is. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. And I can't wait to see your ideas start to come in. Thanks so much. Have a star quality day. Make good choices. And remember that kindness matters in this very big world.